Glidden. In the centres, Henry Hughes and Jordan Gott, and on the left wing, Jerome Rudder. At half-backs, it's Dan Rutter and Jay Toogood. Up front, the captain is at number 1, Kai Beasley, joined in the front row by Rhys Williams and Ben Watson. In the second row, Will Scott and Ryan Bolton, and the back row is made up of Dan Watkins, Mitchell Spencer and Ratu Vatukulani. For the Exeter Chiefs this evening, a number of new faces in the ranks, as well as some familiar ones who haven't played for a while. I'll run down to their team. At 15, Facundo Cordero. At 14, Frankie Knoll. At 13, Zach Wimbrush. At 12, and a welcome back for the first time in almost a year, Ollie Devoto. At number 11, Emmanuel Faye-Waboso. At halfbacks, Joe Randall and Orson James. In the front row, Josh Yusefa Scott. At hooker, Yestin Harris. 3 is Marcus Street. The second row is made up of Corey Teague and Joe Bailey. And the back row is Robin Edbrook, Barnaby Elderkin and Russ Tuima. Alongside me this evening in the stands is club trustee and long-term supporter of the club, John Lockyer. John, give us your thoughts on what is already building to a nice crowd.
Well, it's a very exciting evening because we've got so many good young players. So many very good young players on view for both sides, but it's so good to see Ollie Devoto back. And of course we've also got coming back Marcus Street, who was injured I think up at Worcester in September, and he's had a bad knee, but he's one of the great prospects. But as you said, Mark, looks as though there's well over 2,000 to 3,000 people here. Wonderful crowd.
There's a lot been made, John, of the players leaving at the end of the season, but you watch the Chiefs every week, and you've seen in the Premier Rugby Cup this year these youngsters that are coming through, and we're going to get another glimpse of them this evening.
Absolutely right, and I mean that's the future of the club. And that match that we had the other week against Sale in the Premiership Cup was absolutely fantastic, and I think it lifted the whole morale in the club. People were getting a little bit down about people leaving, and everybody said, well, the future's very bright.
Taking to the field this evening, led out by their captain, the Royal Navy, with Kai Beasley, the Plymouth Albion man there, and also taking to the field in their away strip, but playing at home this evening, are the Exeter Chiefs. And they're led out by the returning Yestin Harris, who this afternoon, John, was one of 5 Chiefs who played a game of darts against Gerwyn Price, the Premier League star.
Well, amazing information coming in. Our referee is somebody we haven't seen before, Mark. Adam Wookie, where is he from then?
He's fairly local. He tends to do the women's fixtures quite often, and another familiar face on the touch in Sarah Cox.
Yep.
And of course Kevin Williams on the far side there. So we're going to be the Royal Navy who get us underway here at Sandy Park, with the fly half Dan Rutter standing next to Adam Wookie, as John said, and we're underway here. Rutter hangs that right-footed straight into the hands of Frankie Knoll, who became an uncle again last week when brother Jack had his first son, Ivor Jack Knoll, born to Jack and Zoe Knoll last week. 3 in the family there now for Jack. And
didn't Jack captain the side well on Saturday? I thought he was very good indeed.
He's got a lovely smashed up nose for the privilege as well. But Orson James there with left-footed high-hanging kick. Up it goes, and it's going to be the number 8, Ratu Vakulutaki, who doesn't take that one too well, and it's going to be a knock-on, says Adam Wookie. Tough. I was out on the pitch earlier, John. When you kick that ball up into the lights, it's tough to pick it out of the air.
Very much so, and I think we don't realise that the pitch is in immaculate condition, but it is very firm, and that's the worst possible start for the Navy. It gives Exeter now a scrum just inside the Navy half, and this will be a very, very crucial part of the game. But when you think of the props out there, when you've got Iosepha Scott and Marcus Street, my goodness, these Navy boys are going to know what it's all about tonight.
Going to say it is a very experienced front row, but in behind that there's a number of the young rising stars in the academy, 2 of them being Joe Bailey and Barnaby Elderkin there tonight. Barney's been playing for the under-18s this season and doing very well, and there you see the first shunt big from the Chiefs, and it's James who fires it out to Randall, and he goes into midfield there. It's good yardage. James goes in again. Russ Tuima on the ball now. Carries well.
He's another one who had a cracking game, didn't he, against the Sharks a couple of weeks ago.
James fires it out, and it's Yusefa Scott who takes it up. Not really getting over the gain line just yet, but now first touch for Ollie Devoto. Now they go wide, and it's Yestin Harris who tried to break down that right flank, manages to get the ball back inside. James is there, and it's Teague on loan with the Cornish Pirates this year, who picks up that ball, takes it up to the 22. Now they go wide again, and it's Devoto again. Good footwork there.
Goodness
showing
me.
no signs of those hip operations.
He's looking for contact already. That's a sign of good work, isn't it?
There's Tuima with a huge carry there, and it's taken on by his fellow forwards. And now 6 or 7 metres out from that Navy line, as Teague this time goes low and drives. They've got advantage here, the Chiefs. James will go wide with it. Out to El.
Excellent continuity.
Devoto again. Seen plenty of the ball in these first few minutes already.
Say 3 touches in the first 4 minutes. Chiefs now picking and going. Here they're going very close to the line. I think they're over. Try given. Cracking start. Excellent continuity. Ball handling was very skillful from forwards and backs. Just going to check who the try scorer was. It's over in that bottom corner. It might well be Iosefa Scott. I'm just looking up to see.
An opening try, as you say, John, for Josh Iosefa Scott. Power play there from the Chiefs in particular, and over they go.
Well, that's 5-0 with a conversion to come, but super bit of play. All came from a dominant scrum, and Exeter attacked through the backs and the forwards, and it was good to see Ollie Devoto so much involved in that. And now the conversion is going to be taken just back from the 22-metre line. Well, this very, very good-sized crowd here tonight have been rewarded for the first 3 or 4 minutes with some sparkling rugby from the Exeter Chiefs. They lead by 5-0. Conversion to come. No, he hasn't got hold of that. That's a disappointment.
No, the young Cardiff Met fly half there, Joe Randall, who's in for the night, fires that conversion attempt just wide of the near post. But Chiefs are up and running with 5-0.
Right, Navy going to restart. Little or no breeze. It's a lovely still March, the first day. Supposed to be the first day of spring, which I'm told it is, but it's certainly a sharp, cold night, but very, very good rugby being played, which is warming the big crowd. Chiefs again have won that ball, and they're actually setting up a ruck just outside the 22. They won't be able to kick directly to touch, of course, but here comes the box kick. Well, it's a deep one. Now then, they're looking to see a rare mistake. Yes, it is. Good tackle from Exeter. They're right up to the 22.
Yeah, huge kick chase there from the Chiefs, and they've put Navy under pressure on their own 22 there as they look to clear their lines. But real heat coming on around that breakdown at the moment from these young Chiefs. Now they come wide. Navy make it up a metre or so. And it'll be their scrum half, Jay Toogood, who will look to box kick here. Just waiting off that back of that Caterpillar, right-footed. Not the best of kicks from him there, and that's going to be gobbled up. Yeah, offside there, not retreating, and an early penalty chance here for the Chiefs, which I'd imagine, John, they'll probably kick for the corner, won't they?
I would have thought so. They want to. Oh, it's Ollie Devoto, of course. I think he's got a good left foot, hasn't he? And he drills that into the corner. So the line out now will be about 8 or 9 metres from the try line. As you say, Sarah Cox on the line. She was here for the Chiefs game on Sunday, wasn't she? So,
and she'll be in Twickenham on Saturday for our game.
3 in a row then. Line out. A full line out from the Chiefs. They'll obviously look to win this one off the top, hopefully.
Harris fires it in, finds Teague at the tail, and now the drive goes on. A white wall, a mass, and now the shove goes on again. Navy body splinter out left and right, and now that secondary drive goes again. Navy doing well to hold it initially here, and the ref is going to probably say that's held. Yes, he is.
Yep. The Navy did well there. They obviously stopped the initial drive, and they've managed to get the turnover, so they'll put into the scrum now. But it's a 5-metre scrum on their own line, so it's going to be a terrifically strong pressure now from the Chiefs.
Based on that first scrum, yeah, I think you're right, John. It was interesting that there was a big shunt goes on, but
yeah, it certainly will be. And people like Marcus Streeter that have been out so long, they'll be champing at the bit to really prove to the Exeter coaches all here tonight that they're ready for the end of the season running, and got a very important match on Saturday, of course, up at headquarters at Twickenham. against the Harlequins.
So the 2 packs go down and the ball goes in from Too Good. There's the shove from the Chiefs. But Navy seem to have got that one, and he fires it back and it goes out to the fly half. Dan Rutter, right-footed kick downfield and makes it just outside the Navy 22. Good clearance there. Good play from the Navy.
Yeah, good relieving kick that was, because the scrum was fairly steady, but he took the kick from inside his own goal area, and he's gained about 27, 28 metres. Now this very talented hooker for Exeter, Iston Harris. I think
first glimpse of him in the last game of last season against Harlequins. And,
I remember seeing him go down that touchline at the end. Good
ball.
Take.
He finds Elderkin at the back. Now it's Randall into Devoto. Good hands from him. Ships it on. Now they go again. Cordero this time. Fancy footwork there from the Argentinian. They'll go down the blind. No, they come back inside, and it'll be Teague, who's never willing runner there with the ball, who makes it up midway inside the half. They go again out wide. Randall to Cordero. Cordero looks for support. A flood of Navy bodies come in. And now it's back inside to Teague again. James goes in to hook this one out, and he does. Finds Devoto. Pass behind Cordero, who spills that one. And then is met by bodies from both sides. Crucial part being that the Navy have turned him over and won a penalty for themselves on halfway.
Yeah, that was good play from the Navy, because they didn't give Exeter any time to get their passes in, and then once the ball went behind, Exeter were playing rugby behind the gain line, and then there was a little bit of a fumble, and the Navy have capitalised, and they've got themselves a kick to the corner. Looked at one of the Exeter players there. I think he slipped over by the touchline, but he's okay. So it's going to be the first attack in position now for the Royal Navy inside the Exeter 22, and it's their line out, so they can put as many players as they feel they want into this line out. Oh, I think they might have lost it
there. And it's the Chiefs who win turnover possession here, right on their own 22, and it's James who will feed it back inside to Rustuima. He carries it forward and makes it just over the Exeter 22, comes back again, and the host will drive once again. Slow, patient game from them at this stage. Now James will go out again, trying to hook that ball out of the Caterpillar. This time, high hanging kick. Doesn't make a huge distance on it.
Oh, well taken by the Navy winger. He's done well there, hasn't he? Goodness
Jerome
me.
Rudder claiming that one from the night sky. Now they'll come inside again, and they're on the front foot for the first time really in this contest so far. Too Good will come out wide to the man with no number, so we don't know who he is. But now they go away, and it's the fullback, Craig Duncan. Too Good back inside this time to Ryan Bolton. He takes up Too Good, switching play both times. Williams this time. Now to Jerome Rudder.
This is good stuff, isn't it, the Navy? They're keeping the possession, they're driving forward. Exeter's defence is up to it, but the Navy have retained possession.
Now they go again. They're going crossfield, coast to coast this time. Too Good will spin out wide to his right. Faye Wilbosa lucky not to be offside there, and he slips out with that tackle. Good multi-phase stuff here from the Navy at the moment as Too Good comes back inside.
I think the Navy are running an advantage here. I think I saw the referee's arm out for... Well, he's put his arm down, but...
Yeah, I think he's coming back for that penalty for offside.
Well, that was good play from the Navy. They haven't really got massive amount of sort of inroads into Exeter, but they kept the possession. They've won a penalty. No doubt they'll want to kick to the corner themselves now and put more pressure on Exeter.
Yeah, it was good work from their hooker in particular, Rhys Williams, who's going to obviously throw this ball in now, but he made real yardage. I think they're going to kick for the corner. In the hands of Jordan Gott, right-footed, and that's a good touch finder from him, the centre. I think the Navy 5 or 6 metres out.
Is that one of the Navy players got an injury down on the touchline over the far side?
Seems that way, like a leg injury of some sort.
Are they waiting for him to come back on the field? No, I think he's okay. Here comes the line out. Very good kick right into the corner. Good throw and a very good take by the Navy in the back row.
Mitchell Spencer was the man who took it, and now there it's the visitors who have the chance to drive off this one, and they're making good yards as well as they drive forward.
Here comes the drive.
Couple of meters out and penalty.
I think they're over.
Over they go. Good response from the visitors there. They've had a sustained spell of pressure there, and they're duly rewarded as they drive over two good. And it was that man that we spoke about a moment ago, John, Rhys Williams, that's got the try, the hooker.
Yeah, it was a very well constructed try because the line out was good. The kick to the corner was excellent. The throw-in was very, very good, and they won the ball at the tail of the line out, and that's the danger position, obviously, for everybody. When you've got a line out that you win at the tail, you've got a lovely big blind side to work on. But they went on the open, the pick and drive, and now we got the conversion. Jordan Gott. He's going to attempt to put the Navy in the lead. Yes, the flags go up, so it's the Navy in the lead by 7 points to 5. We've played about 13 minutes of the first half, but so far, good stuff. Now, number 23 is coming on. Look, I think it's Toby Papp that's coming on. We're looking to see who it is who's coming off. I think it was the lad that was getting treatment on the far side. Right, the kick by Exeter is a deep one, and the Navy look confident. They want to run the ball. They took play up to just outside the 22.
Too good with the barking the instructions there for his team. Now he spins it down that narrow side. Just good ball retention there from the visitors, and now they'll try and set up to clear their lines. It's Too Good who's setting up for that box kick again. Up it goes, right footed kick. That's a better one from him this time, and it's the Chiefs going in to try and grab it. Cordero, though, doesn't on this occasion. Now the Navy will look to play off the advantage. Met in the middle, and it's the big number 8, Ratu Vakulakali. Now they'll go wide again. Numbers either way here.
They've done well there, the Navy, to get out of their own 22, and they've set up possession now, but that's a knock on. But the referee's going back to the first offence, which I think is a knock on by Exeter, over by the East Grandstand, and I think he's going to go over to, well, roughly about 10 metres inside the Navy half. His arm is out, so it's going to be a Navy put in. But a very competitive start to the game. Navy lead by 7 points to 5. Just about 15 minutes played. Still people coming in. I think they have a problem in the car park a little bit.
Yeah, the car park was full tonight.
Good to see, isn't it? Local rugby being played on a Wednesday night, and an attractive game, and a lovely weather forecast as well for the next few days. So it's a good night to be out and about.
Back to the action, and two packs are just getting ready to pack down. That one's gone a bit fast. You're going to have to reset that one.
We're talking about a referee here tonight, obviously in a big game for him, but we all said the same, and I know it's easy when we win, but wasn't Luke Pearce good on Saturday or Sunday? I thought he was outstanding. Sort of referee that you want, and sort of referee that you know is on the field and all the right decisions, but he let the game flow, and his use of advantage I thought was terrific on Sunday. Good man.
So we'll try again with this scrum.
Yep.
This time they do lock in better, and Too Good throws it in. The Chiefs are shoving well there, and it's spurted out the far side there, and it's Barnaby Elderkin who ended up picking that one up. Now they come back inside again. Justin Harris with the charge this time. Now James will come back inside. Big carries again. Nice offload in the midfield there. They make it up to the 22. Bodies need to get there for the Chiefs. The guys seem to appear to come in from the side, but the ref says play on. And here come the Chiefs again.
Iosapher Scott is well to the fore tonight, isn't he?
Devoto with the chip in behind. Now the chase is on, but that's going to slip into touch on that far side.
And I gather the boy in the back row for Exeter, Robin Edbrook, that must be Tim's son. Tim Edbrook.
Could well be.
Very good player.
Plays at Topsham.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Tim came from Bristol and played for Exeter in the 80s and 90s. Very, very good back row for. I think he played for England 23s when they used to run a team like that. But I gather his son's a great prospect.
Ball goes in, taken in the middle there by the number 5, Ryan Bolton. And Too Good is at the back, just barking orders to his pack of forwards. Up come the Chiefs' defensive line. And Too Good fires it back out, and it'd be right-footed kick downfield from Rutter, and he finds touch in an empty East Terrace there tonight.
Yes. Yeah, that was good play again from the Navy. You've got to say they're being well coached and well drilled. They knew exactly what to do at the line out. They drove it. They got it back to the player in a better position. The kick is quite a good one. It's took play outside the 22, but it's Exeter throwing into the line out.
You talk about the Navy coaches there. One of them is former Redruth and Cornwall player Dave Pascoe. Has been a long time but he is already gearing them up for the soon-to-come Army-Navy game at Twickenham, where that normally sells out and packs out. But
yeah.
Not missed too much action there as Faye Wuboso released Cordero, but sadly the Argentinian spilt that possession, and it'll be another scrum just outside the Navy 22.
So unusual for him, isn't it? Because his hands are usually so good. So the referee is just marking the spot. We haven't had any long drawn-out scrummages yet, which is or resets, which is what is the bane of the game at the moment. And it'll be a Navy put in. And they're just outside their 22 on our side of the field here at a packed West Grandstand. Slowly the scrum is engaged.
Too Good with ball in hand, feeds it in. And again a big shunt this time, but it's picked up at the base from the big Fijian, Ratu Valukatali. He's now barking orders to his teammates as they try and trundle this up, but they're met by a wall of white defence on this occasion. Not going anywhere with it.
No, this will probably be another box kick. And a chase. That's a good one.
And it's led that chase by Jerome Rudder. Who seemed to be taken out in the air.
Oh dear. I hope he's not hurt. Cordero came forward for that and he was in the air as... Oh, I think he's going to be okay. He's getting to his feet very slowly, but apologies from the Navy player. Yes, he's
penalty though to the Chiefs. We saw a similar one at the weekend, didn't we, with Tom Hendrickson and Carpenter.
That decision by the officials was spot on, wasn't it? Hendrickson went for the ball, hands in the air. No foul play at all, but that's a good kick from Devoto.
And he puts the Chiefs a couple of metres inside the Navy 22. Looks as though the hosts are going for a full line out here. Teague is at the front, Bailey in the middle. Bailey's done really well this year in the Prem Cup, and there he is as he takes the ball, lowers it down, and now the shove goes on, and that's a good one from the Chiefs, and they peel off.
Wow.
It's Russ Tuima barging his way to the line, just metre or so short, and the follow-up stuff. It's a penalty, whatever happens here to the Chiefs. Ref says play on for a moment. Now they go wide, as that looked as though
it was
going to
be a card.
as well, and it's a yellow card.
Yeah.
Absolutely deliberate stopping of the ball, and I think it's the scrum half, John.
That was a very powerful run by Tuima, wasn't it? My goodness. 3 of them to stop him, but he was tackled just short of the line. Now the referee's explaining to the skipper of the Navy the reason for the card. What will Exeter do here? Kick the corner, I assume, Mark? Ollie Devoto's got the ball. All right, they're all ready to go because obviously the Navy have got a player down now. They're down to 14 men. Yep, Devoto pops it into the corner. And this is now a wonderful chance for Exeter to get hold of the ball in this line out, either to drive it over or move it off the top.
Justin Harris with the ball in hand. And ball goes in. Oh, and it's a missed line out there, but it's knocked on at the tail by the Navy. A comedy of errors on both sides there. But
yeah.
The ball will come back on the Chiefs' side, and it's fed inside there to Ed Brooke. Makes a metre or so under the shadows. There's Harris again. Certainly looking for work already. Now they'll go wide again through James, a fellow Welshman. 5 or 6 metres short. Josefa Scott this time. James will dig that one out, comes back inside again. Chiefs certainly looking for work as James comes out wide again. Devoto with a long pass to Cordero, and over he goes in the corner. Try for the Chiefs.
No, I think he's given a forward pass, hasn't he?
Actually, it was Frankie Knoll.
Yeah,
excuse me.
Yeah, forward pass has been given. The idea was absolutely right. The Cordero was stood on the wing with nobody near him, and the pass off the left hand has just drifted forward. So scrum to the Navy, but good to see something different being tried instead of just the standard catch and drive and push over. So the Chiefs are trying all sorts of different things, which is what you've got to do when you're playing in these games, and you've got to show what you can do. But the Navy still are in the lead at 7 points to 5, and they're defending furiously here. They've been under the cosh for about 4 or 5 minutes, and they're down to 14 men, of course, with the yellow card. And it's their put in. The Navy will put into the scrum 8 yards from the try line at the southwest comms end. And now we'll see a massive shove from Exeter. This is the chance for Marcus Street to really show his worth. The potential of the young man is very, very high. There goes a terrific shove by Exeter. They're pushing the Navy back, but the referee penalises them. As so often happens, we would have said that was a wonderful bit of scrummaging, and what did the referee do? Penalise you.
As a former front row, you probably know better than anyone the dark arts in there, John.
Yeah, but it just seems so wrong when you've got a dominant scrum that you're getting penalised because you're better than the opposition. But it's a different ball game, I know that. That's a pretty useful kick.
Jacob Morris looks as though he's coming on, and it'll be just having a look who he's replacing. It's going to be Marcus Street. So Marcus has had a nice 24 minutes here this evening.
Yeah. Ball comes back on the Exeter side. Little kick over the top. But the referee's coming back for the first offence, which is a knock on by the Navy. So Exeter will get a scrum 15 metres in from the touchline, halfway between the halfway line and the Navy 22. A wonderful attacking position this will be for the Exeter backs.
So Josefa Scott's moved from the loose head to the tight head now, and just for the coaches in particular, John, it would be great to see that Marcus Street is back on the field. He started the season so well.
Yeah, it was tragic, wasn't it? In that game at Worcester, which we all said should never have taken place, he got a bad knee, and it's the first time we've seen him in competitive action. It's 1st of March, so he's had a very frustrating 6 months. But he is one for the future, there's no doubt about that. Here comes the scrummage to Exeter.
Now the shove goes on again.
Yep.
And they come out to Devoto, to Randall. Fires that one wide. Great hand from him. And it's Feo Waboso. And I don't think you're going to stop him. Oh, what a try. Unbelievable effort there from the former Wasp man, showing the gas that he showed in the Premier Rugby Cup.
Absolutely screaming pace, isn't he? The pass was a beauty. It gave him a yard or two up on his opposite number, and he got the ball 30 odd metres out. And as you said, Mark, nobody was going to stop him. And he's got such a lovely stride length, and he's a big man as well. And Emmanuel goes in for a cracking try under the posts. So that puts Exeter into the lead now, 10 points to 7. But this boy, Feo Waboso, my word, he's a name to remember, and he's certainly going to be a star of the future. He might even feature a bit at the end of this season, the way he's playing. Conversion going to be taken by Orson James. Kicks the conversion, so the Chiefs are in the lead now, 12 points to 7. And we've played about 26 minutes of the first half. And it's been very good rugby, very entertaining and competitive, because the Navy are a tough outfit.
Yeah, great stuff there from the Exeter Chiefs, showing real skill out wide as the number 12, Jordan Gott, gets us back underway again. And it'll be fired downfield, and Cordero with the kick. Baku Lukali there tries, and he's going to run it back with a bit of interest.
He's a big man, isn't he? The Navy plead to get players like him playing.
Makes it to just shy of halfway as the Navy now make yards over halfway. Come back inside. It's that number 8 again, big Fijian, taking the ball up to. Now they'll come wide. You try and use their backs to press, but 3 extra tacklers there on that occasion as Devoto comes around the side. Referee says play on, and I think he lifted the ball to.
Well, Ollie Devoto in the first 27 minutes of this match has been all over the place, and attack and defence.
Ref says the Chiefs don't roll away from the tackle zone there. I think he's singling out Josh Scott on this occasion. And
it's going to be a penalty to the Navy right in the middle of the field, almost on the halfway, and there is an injury to one of the Navy lads, so the physios have come on, but it's been a very, very good first quarter of the game, and both sides are trying to play open rugby. And I think the Navy's got a match. I was just talking to some of their officials before the game. I think they've got a game they're going to play at the Brickfields at Plymouth, so it's staying fairly local. And we were able to talk about the days when we used to play at the Rectory Field, Devon against the Navy. And I can certainly remember our director of rugby, Rob Baxter's dad, John Baxter, in a certain second row for the Navy called Andy Higginson. And my word, those two went hammer and tongs for the whole game. We used to have some very, very big games against the Navy at the Rectory Field in the dim and distant past, but they were always very, very good entertainment for the crowd and good fun afterwards down at Union Street.
Gott takes that penalty for the Navy, right-footed kick, and finds a decent touch on that far side, just inside the Exeter Chiefs 22. Chiefs leading here in this Wednesday night friendly by 12 points to 7. Chiefs were all lined up ready.
Yeah, this will be interesting because the Navy, well, they're putting the full liner in. I thought they were going to cut the line out, but they're putting the full 7 forwards in. It'll be interesting if they can get good ball to use their backs.
Try scorer Williams with the throw finds Bolton at the front, and it'll be the turn of the Navy this time to try and give it a shove forward, but they're not actually making any yards just yet. Now they peel off around the side. Go to ground eventually. And in they come. Scrum half Jared Haler on at the moment. He's normally the Navy captain. And he fires that one out to the right. A good quick hands from the visitors there. They've got men over on that far side if they choose to go there. Stopped just inside the 22. Now they'll come back inside again. Chiefs just waiting. Mismatch in the midfield. And they've got over the gain line this time. Now they go wide again. Big hit in the middle. That's Devoto again. This time Tuima adds his weight to proceedings as Haler fires it out to Williams. Bodies getting pummeled left, right and centre at the moment. Haler again out to Will Scott, the big second row. Haler again. Good hands from the Navy this time. Just working their way, but not actually making any real yardage at this stage, and in the end the referee says you're hanging on to that ball and it will be a penalty. Good defence there from the Chiefs, John.
Very good defence from Exeter. Good continuity from the Navy. No mistakes being made. They were driven back just a yard or two, but you can't help noticing Ollie Devoto is doing everything he possibly can to get a good report tonight. He's certainly good in attack. He's made some wonderful defensive work as well, and in the end Exeter have won themselves a penalty which they've kicked to the East Grandstand side of the field. It'll be a line out now on the halfway line, but it's very competitive and I'm very impressed that the Navy look a well-drilled side, and they're not come up here today just to take a beating like they have in other years.
Yeston Harris with this line out just inside the Chiefs half on that far side. Shortened one for the home side. Referee says you've taken too long and they get free kicked.
Yeah, I think he's right too, Mark. I think he took far too long on the throw. Free kick to the Navy.
And they go quick through Will Scott. He makes it up midway inside the Chiefs half. Haler out again. And good hands there. Got this time. Brought to ground as Ed Brooke goes in to try and pinch that ball. But Williams again, he's everywhere for the Navy at the moment.
Yep.
Hooker, try scorer earlier in the game. Now they come out wider again. And it's the big tight head Ben Watson who tries it, but they're shunted back, and Haler's then knocked to the floor as Teague looks to go over the top there. Devoto again and Wimbush both very much into the fray. Now they'll go cross field through Dan Rutter. Cordero's under it this time, takes it better. No spilling this time from the Argentinian, who makes 5-6 metres up the field before James goes in to pick that one out. Feeds Barnaby Elderkin this time. James again, he has men outside him. Players calling for it, one of which is Corey Teague. Drives in, and now James, you'd imagine, will look to send this one high into the night sky and spark a chase, led by Frankie Knoll in the yellow boots. And it's gathered by Craig Duncan, who kicks it back straight into the face of Frankie Knoll. And it comes back on the Chiefs' side, and ref says it's a knock-on, and it will be a Chiefs scrum.
Well, that was a very enterprising bit of rugby from both sides, because the Navy obviously kept possession, and then Exeter managed to win it back, and their defensive work is, both sides are well organised, they've been well coached, and then the high box kick from Exeter put the Navy in a bit of problem and in their own half of the field, and then we had a charge down kick, and now we've got an injury taking place. One of the Navy lads has gone down and the physios are on, but it's going to feature the next part of the game will be a scrum to Exeter, and of course the Navy are still down to 14 men, having got one in the bin. Oh, it's a contact lens injury. This lad's probably lost a contact lens, or he's having a new contact lens, I think, put into this into his eye, and they've got the physio out there with a little mirror. And at this time of the night, I expect you need a little torchlight as well to see, but he's okay. It's the hooker.
Quick look ahead to the weekend, John. How much are you looking forward to the double header up at Twickenham, with obviously the men's and the women's sides playing?
Yeah, should be super, Mark, because you've obviously got the women's game at 12:30, and then the Chiefs.
2:15 now.
Oh, 2:15, is it?
Yeah.
That's right, and I think the supporters' coaches are leaving at 9 in the morning, so they'll make sure they're up there to see two games. And also then, of course, we hear today or yesterday that Harlequins have got the England squad boys back, so we're going to be taking on the full Harlequins.
Well, I think that's kind of what we expected.
Yes, yeah, no, that's what you want. Big crowd expected, no doubt.
Chiefs pick up from the base there. Tuima, one hand with ball in. Up he goes to that 10-metre line. James goes in. Navy looked offside in midfield, but Bailey with a good leg drive through there. Now they'll go wide again. Randall out to Yosefa Scott this time. Makes it up midway inside the half. Now Devoto, good hands from him. Releases Frankie Knoll, the young brother of Jack Knoll, playing his rugby this year down at Plymouth Albion on dual registered terms, doing really well. Nice switch back inside there too. Harris. James again goes out wide. Good hands there from Devoto.
This is wonderful rugby, isn't it? Entertaining and also enterprising. Terrific stuff at the moment. Forwards and backs. Handling with so much confidence.
James feeds one of his teammates. It goes in again. It's Jacob Morris, the young prop there. Former Exeter University. Got a master's in business, I was told this week, John. So there's lovely looping pass from Knoll to Devoto to Tuima, and over he goes in the corner, and that's a third try of the night for the Chiefs.
Well, that was coming, wasn't it? It was brilliant rugby from one side of the field to the other. The continuity was good, the handling was very skillful, and the players all know where the player in a better position is. And in the end, it's Russ Tuima, the big number 8, that barrels over in the right-hand corner. So the third try of the evening for the Chiefs. They're leading by 17 points to 7, and we've got about 5 minutes to go to half-time. We've got a conversion to come, but it really is top-class rugby, and you can see why so many of these young men on both sides have got such a bright future in the game. And the Exeter lads are all fighting for places not only in the Braves team, but in the first team as well, and of course with the Premiership Cup, there's all to play for. 17-7 now to Exeter. Referee is just making sure that the Exeter goal kicker, Orson James, is in the right place to take the conversion. It's only a metre or so in from the touchline, so it's going to be a difficult kick. I think he's a left-footed kicker, so it's on the right side of the field for him, but the conditions are absolutely beautiful for goal kicking. Oh, he struck it beautifully. What an excellent kick. Fantastic kick. Chiefs now lead 19 points to 7. Well, we've got 5 minutes to half time. The Navy are coming up to kick off. I'm sure their heads aren't going to drop, but they're looking a little bit disconsolate.
Yeah, great work there from the Chiefs, and nice finish from Russ Tuima in the corner as Gott gets us back underway. Manny Faye-Waboso has ball in hand. A little undecided there initially what he was going to do. Tends to normally just get his head down and run, but presents nice ball back for his forwards, and it's James who feeds it back inside to the try scorer there, Russ Tuima. Ed Brook latches onto the back there, and more bodies add to form that caterpillar, and it'll be James who will fire that one up in the air, and then the kick chase goes on, led by Faye-Waboso, looking to go after it. Taken well there by the fullback, Craig Duncan, though. And it'll be coming back on the Navy side. Now they come inside. Williams, the hooker, try scorer for them earlier in the game, takes it on. Now it comes out wide. Good switch of play there from Rutter, but it's marked well by Cordero. He'd seen the danger, and now left-footed kick from the Argentine downfield. And there'll be a bit of kick tennis here, it looks like. Faye-Waboso gathers that kick, though, fires it back inside. And that's a decent kick downfield there. Big chase. Faye-Waboso again. Took his time. Right-footed kick this time. He needs to get his mates back on side, which he does. And the Navy make a hash of that one, and they've allowed it to go well into their 22. Great chase from Faye-Waboso, and they've made a net gain of about 65 metres there, John.
Yes, you can just see why teams do this kick tennis. You're waiting for somebody to make a mistake, which happened, and then the next thing, obviously, is that the Navy boys glad to clear their lines. They've given Exeter the chance now for a very good attacking line out just inside the Navy 22. The last couple of minutes of the first half, and it's going to be Exeter throwing into the line out. Very impressive play so far. Beautiful line out off the top for the Chiefs.
Randall with ball in hand feeds it into Devoto this time. They come back.
Untidy ball.
Right. They've still got it though, and a nice clear out there as the Chiefs go to Edbrook this time. Now to Morris. Morris makes good yards. Come back inside to Teague. Another one who's down at the Cornish Pirates on dual registered terms this year, but has had his chance in the Premiership Cup, but he's been turned over there.
Yeah, the Navy did well to do that, didn't they?
Williams again. He's been at the heart of everything that the visitors have done tonight so far. And it'll be a penalty after he knocked on.
Yeah,
the comes back.
Navy's defensive work was good there. They got to the breakdown quickly. They got over the ball and they've won the penalty. Kicked a touch. This could well be the last play of the first half. We've got a minute on the clock to go. But super game so far. Plenty of rugby from both sides. And some excellent tries for the crowd to cheer about. Chiefs leading by 19 points to 7.
Williams fires it in, finds Wilson at the back there. Will Scott, sorry. No, it's Hayler who'll go in and pick that one out. Comes back to Williams again, but Tuima is standing in his path. Won't allow him past. And it's a slower ball this time for the Navy as Hayler goes in to pick that one out. Right-footed kick. Frankie Knoll is under this one. And the referee says they're offside again. Knoll takes it quickly, catches him napping there, and looks to break his way through. Had Devoto inside of him.
Yeah, going to say he went about 50 metres. Oh, it's an interception.
Goes wide, but the referee says the man who intercepts his pass is standing a mile offside.
Well, was there a ruck for him? That's what you've got to ask yourself. When Frankie Knoll went through, the referee has given the Navy as offside, but I don't know whether there was a ruck actually taking place, but he's the man in charge and Exeter the beneficiary. They've got a kick to the corner, 5 metre line out, could well be another score right on the stroke of half time.
So Yeston Harris is taking his instructions on that far side from his pack of forwards. Full line out for the Chiefs. Goes in this time, taken by Bailey. Now the drive goes on from the hosts, and that's got a good shunt. And they're still piling over, and it looks like the referee goes down on his knee to see if he can see anything. But Navy have done well just to hold it.
Yeah, they have. I think it's
A
illegal.
bit like the weekend, Frankie Knoll is doing a Jack Knoll and saying, I am out here, throw me the ball.
The referee says another penalty. They'll have to be careful with the yellow cards here, because if you're in the red zone like this and you're persistent infringing, the referees now are very, very strict. So Exeter will obviously tap and go here. Looks as though they're going to make up their mind what they're doing. We're into time added on now in the first half. Well, they're kicking the corner, which is the structured game which Exeter are so good at. Here comes the Exeter forwards just getting into a huddle, making sure they got the call right.
Harris has his call now. It looks as though it might be a shortened lineup. No, the numbers are now piling in there, with Ed Brooke acting as the scrum half. It's taken at the front there, and now it will be the drive that goes on. But the Navy have done well that as they sneak around the side, though, the Chiefs. They're a metre or so out. Referee is watching one side, touches on the other, and now they come back inside. The metre is so short, need quick ball here, and the Chiefs could be in business.
I think Devoto fancies this, doesn't he?
Quite upright. Frankie Knoll still screaming for possession wide here on the right flank, but the Chiefs decide to keep it in the pack.
Yep. Again, it's pick and drive. Patience called for. Good defence again from the Navy.
Patient stuff as Elderkin this time picks up, drives, makes a metre or so, right under the shadow of the post as the Chiefs drive again. Bodies from the Navy are piling in everywhere to try and prevent this, as Yousefa Scott this time. No, he's just held. Now they'll go wide. Cordero sneaks over.
Super try. Yeah, Cordero knew exactly what he was doing when the quick ball came out. He sold the dummy, the Navy bought it, and he dived over. So that's the fourth try of the first half for the Exeter Chiefs. So right on the stroke of half-time, Exeter take a commanding lead, 24 points to 7. Conversions still to come, but a very, very good first half of rugby. The crowd are really appreciating it. I think quite a few of them at the moment now are getting their half-time drinks ready, but we still got the conversion to take. The Exeter players are getting ready to leave the pitch for the half-time break. But we've still got the conversion to come. Again, a super kick a few minutes ago from the touchline. This, of course, would make it 26 points to 7. This young man's got a bright future, Orson James. He's goal-kicking scrum half. What's he done with that one? It's just gone to the left of the post, but
that's half-time. And just before we go to the half-time break, I'm just being reliably informed by our former community manager that Jared Haler is a back row, so he can't be playing scrum half. So our numbers are on the Navy side are a bit screwed tonight, so apologies for that, but we'll try and get a up-to-date list of who's playing what. But here at half-time at Sandy Park, it's the Exeter Chiefs 24, Royal Navy 7. Join us shortly. Welcome back to Sandy Park for this Wednesday night friendly between the Exeter Chiefs and the Royal Navy. The Chiefs lead 24-7 at half-time. First half tries for Josh Yusefa-Scott, Manny Faye-Waboso, Rus Tuima and Facundo Cordero, not Santiago Cordero. Remember him. Half-time change for the home side with Ollie Devoto on his first game back, being replaced by Jeremy Tuima, the younger brother of Rus. But Cordero thought he was away there, and the referee says no, and he's pinged for crossing. So penalty to Navy earlier. John, quick thoughts on that first half? Ball comes back. As I said at the end of the first half, the 21 is not actually Jared Haler, who we thought it would be, but it's the Navy who have front foot ball there through Ryan Bolton. He makes a metre or so. Now they come back inside again to the fly half, Dan Rutter. Dishing the ball out wide. Rutter again. It's going to get interesting now, John, because there's shirts with no numbers on.
Talking to Bob Armstrong, one of the
Harris with ball. Harris with ball in hand. And another penalty this time to the Chiefs. Referee saying no release on the floor there, and good carry from Rus Tuima. Sorry, just had a quick gremlin on John's microphone there.
Yeah, it's my fault. I don't think I had it switched on, Mark. But anyway, Morgan came up and put me right. And now a penalty to Exeter, which has been kicked. Well, it's about 30 odd metres from the try line, but it's going to be an Exeter line out. And they look a very confident group of men that are coming over to this line out.
Harris, who's had a good 40-minute stint, 43 minutes now, on his first game back since tail end of last season. Throw goes in, and that one's gone over the top, misses Bailey, and it's gathered at the back by his opposite number, Rhys Williams. Now they go wide, kicking behind there from the Navy, but Faye Waboso is back to cover the danger, and he'll look to run that one back. No, he's going to chip kick over the top, and it's gathered there.
Cool, he did well, didn't he? Goodness me. Faye Waboso, my word, he shows he can not only attack, he can defend as well.
Quick hands there from Williams, almost releases a teammate as the Navy look to get this ball, digging it out from the base of that ruck. Tight head, Ben Watson fires it and it's intercepted, and Randall's away, and he's fed Wimbush, Zach Wimbush, the big towering centre, and over he goes.
Wonderful try. The interception, I'm afraid it was a little bit telegraphed, and Exeter made full use of it, and then obviously the pass found him inside, and they've got a very good try from Wimbush right next to the post. So all that enterprise and all that effort from the Navy, and they started the second half very, very brightly. They now find themselves behind the post, and this is going to be another 7 points to the Chiefs, and the Navy will feel a bit aggrieved with that, because they had done very well for the first 4 or 5 minutes of the second half. But unfortunately, a loose pass, which what we saw last weekend 2 or 3 times at the Six Nations games, interceptions, and it really is a killer. Because when you're on the attack and you think there's a chance of a score, the next thing is you're behind the post, and it's probably going to be another 7 points. But At the moment, Chiefs lead by 29 points to 7. Conversion to come, and the big crowd here in the West Grandstand absolutely delighted with what they're seeing tonight.
Just shy of 2,000, I've been told, John. So
great excellent.
Crowd, and it's Orson James with that kick, and it goes between the sticks, so he extends the home side's lead now to 31-7. Chiefs starting to pull clear a little now.
Yeah, that was a real downer for the Navy, because they were looking as though they were wanting to attack and they were playing good stuff, and then they conceded a 7-pointer. Now then, we'll see what happens now, whether their heads will drop a bit. A very strong Exeter Brave side, lead by 31 points to 7. They've received the kickoff and they've banged the field downfield. And here come the Navy with a chance to attack.
And it's the big number 8, Ratu Valukulali. Great, breaks off 2-3 Exeter Chiefs defending. Then a lovely offload, but his teammate can't gather it, and it comes back on the Chiefs side. There's a real contest at that ruck.
Yeah.
But James eventually goes in and sorts matters out by picking the ball out.
He looked a real 400-metre runner then, didn't he? These big long strides, and he galloped down. He went about 40 metres, but Exeter have got the ball inside their own 22. They'll either be looking to clear their lines. Here, they've got a penalty, so they'll be able to kick to touch and get the line-out throw.
Williams, the hooker there, not happy with that decision from the referee. Seemed to feel that he won that turnover legitimately. But it does allow the Chiefs the chance to clear their lines. Joe Randall, as I say, in from Cardiff Met tonight. Not his best kick, that one.
No, he hadn't got a lot of distance, but I suppose he'll say, well, I put it into touch, which is the object of the exercise. So it'll be an Exeter throw into the line out. They're still inside their own half, right in front of the West Grandstand at Sandy Park.
Harris with ball in hand now, and fires it in, and it goes up, and Teague does well to gather that one. It's fired out by James to Randall to Tuima, and it releases Cordero in space. Now Cordero looks to take it up, but it's knocked on in the tackle, and be a scrum. Just good enterprise there from the Chiefs, looking to run from deep.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff, and they obviously just got on the outside. There was a knock on which has been picked up quite correctly by the referee. He's having a good game, the referee. He's keeping the game flowing, and we're not seeing a lot of whistle, and this is what you want on a Wednesday night. Enterprise in rugby, and you want the game to be fast flowing, and at the moment with the Chiefs well in the lead, 31-7, I no doubt they'll be playing most of their bench, and they'll be back in working hard again tomorrow, ready to go up to Twickenham at the weekend. 2 very big games for the women and the Chiefs, of course, and after last week's wonderful win against Sale, I think somebody said in the league at home the Chiefs have only lost 1 game, and that was the last kick of the match against Saracens. So good run of form here at Sandy Park, but a wonderful game last weekend. To beat the Sale Sharks was a great result for Exeter. Right, the scrum hasn't been completed yet. Referee is talking to the front rows, and down they go. He's standing on this side, so he's not too worried about the put-in, but he's looking at the props.
Here come the Navy. Men outside. Faye Wiboso bites in well there, and it releases Tuima, the younger brother there. Randall has ball in hand now as he goes to ground. Orson James goes in to pick that one out. It's the older Tuima brother now, Roos, who had that one stripped from him. Referee, though, says a knock on, and we'll have a scrum centre field. That'll go the way of the Chiefs, but Roos Tuima certainly at the thick of the action there again.
Yeah, well, he does tend to hold the ball in one hand, doesn't he? So he's liable that he can be stripped like that, but the referee said that wasn't the first offence. The first offence was the knock on.
He does have hands like shovels, though, to be fair. Him and Dave Ewers, it's a competition who has the bigger ones.
When they shake hands with you, their hand goes up to your elbow, doesn't it? They're big boys. And obviously Tuima's going to feature in this Chiefs side in the future, no doubt about that. Right, scrum right in the middle of the field, 30 metres from the Navy try line. In
it goes from James, feeds it in, comes back at the feet of Tuima. Now James snipes and grubbers in behind, and the chase is on for Cordero. There's a whole heap of bodies, and Faye Waboso did a great chase, and the referee is saying scrum 5. Good tactic there from the Chiefs, just clever work from James initially, and the chase from Faye Waboso.
Yeah, it was a lovely kick, little end over end kick, which the Navy defender had to pick up, and then he was bundled over the try line. So
Jerome
it's going to
Rudder
be attacking scrum.
Yeah, Jerome Rudder, the Navy man there, under intense pressure, not only to just field the ball, but also fend off the attentions of Faye Waboso. In the end, he was carried over the line.
Yeah, here comes the scrum.
Big opportunity again for the Chiefs now to extend their lead. They lead in this game 31 points to 7. 10 minutes gone in this second half so far. Playing from right to left as we look at it on screen, as the Navy are readying the best part of 4 or 5 replacements. Up comes Tuima, feeds his brother Jeremy. He's just held shy of the line. Forwards are assembling and they drive over. Referee says held, and it will come back on the Chiefs side. Ed Brooke this time is there with people outside. Slow ball for the Chiefs, but there's plenty of Navy bodies there preventing any kind of way through at this stage. Orson James just barking tactics. Chiefs are looking to go for the line, and in the end that pressure has paid off with another try.
And after 4 goes, the Chiefs get over the try line. Initially the Navy boys did very well to stop the surges, but the referee was in a very good position to see the try, and Exeter got over the try line. He was in a great position to actually see and award the try.
Yeah, it was the young prop Jacob Morris who got the score in the end. Patient work there from the Chiefs. As I say, the Navy are bringing on 5 replacements here now. But good work as the Chiefs extend their lead. Patient approach though from the forwards.
Yeah, and it's good to see the Navy now. They're able to play their as many replacements, I think, as that they've got on the team sheet, and they've got a good number. They're trying to give all their squad a chance to stake a claim for the Inter-Services Championship. And now we've got the conversion. Here he is again, the scrum half for the Chiefs, Orson James. And he's on the about 15 metres in from the touchline. Strikes it beautifully, and that's going to sail between the posts. So it's now 38 points to 7 in favour of the Exeter Chiefs. So it really is becoming a very, very high scoring game in favour of Exeter. And you've got to say that the extra good organisation from Exeter is obviously paying dividends tonight, and the extra experience as well. Some of these lads have played some super rugby over the last season or two, Plymouth Albion and the Pirates, as well as playing for the Exeter Braves. Right, so Exeter received that kick-off in the 22. They're going to run it. My word, there's another powerful drive from Russ Tuima. He's got over the gain line as he always does. Chiefs with good ball. Driving up the middle. Now it needs to go, but I think it's going to be a box kick.
Yeah, he set up the caterpillar nicely there, and just telling his forwards where to go. Been quite impressive, young number 9 tonight. And left-footed kick.
Massive kick.
It's got air on it. And it's knocked on straight away there by the Navy, and it will come back on the Chiefs side, and it'll be Teague who picks up from the base, feeds Justin Harris. Now it'll go wide, and it's out to Wimbush, who's looked lively in the centre. James goes across. Now he'll come back inside again to Elderkin, this time to Jacob Morris, the try scorer just a moment ago. James again, Randall to Ed Brooke, who plays his club rugby just down the road at Topsham, and now it's out to Faye Waboso, to Joshua Sefa Scott now. Makes it up just past the 10-metre line. James picked up well there off his shoelaces there by Corey Teague. James again will go to Frankie Knoll this time. Picks a lovely line through the middle there as Justin Harris. Offloads fantastically to Barnaby Elderkin. Flings the ball back. It's knocked on, but Chiefs are playing with the advantage. And it's that man Cordero trying to sidestep his way round like his brother used to do here a few years ago. Russ Tuima now.
Really is good enterprising stuff again, and the Chiefs handling forwards and backs outstanding. I think the referee's arm is, yes, it's still out for the advantage. there's a penalty if Exeter want it, but they want more than that now. Their handling has been superb all evening. There's another blatant bit of penalty there.
I think we'll go back for the earlier one though.
So
it's a metre or so inside the Navy 22. And it'll be Randall who has the ball in hand. He's just
there's one or two down having some treatment. There's probably a bit of cramp as much as anything, I think.
Looks like it's Yeston Harris who's just stretching there.
Yeah, and one of the Navy boys looks in a bit of trouble. But they have got another player that's getting ready for the Navy. I think the lad's going to have to come off. 4 more replacements coming for the Navy. Their numbers are all over the place, so we're just going to say virtually a new team, Mark, isn't it?
We have 28 players named tonight. But, speaking to their coaches beforehand, they were saying that they want to get a good eye on a number of them with the inter-services coming up soon. Big games against the RAF and, of course, the big one at Twickenham against the Army.
Right, I think the lad that was down was the flanker, and I think he's okay, but there's somebody else coming off now. We can't see the numbers on all of them, but never mind.
Well, 2 of these don't have numbers, John.
No,
so,
Ed Pascoe's come on, 22. And 19's come on, which down is Matt Scott.
I'm just going to go through their replacements and say they're coming on. So just for those listening, it's on the bench for the Navy tonight, Jack Wright, Dom Cleverley, Gaz Evans, who Plymouth Albion fans will know well, Matt Scott, Matt Whitehead, Jared Hayler, Ed Pascoe, Toby Pate, Sam Carter, Luke Kidor, Steph Rees, Matt Bowden and Ollie Rayner. So the Chiefs are readying George Edson in a moment to come on in place of Yeston Harris, who's had a good 56, 57 minutes this evening, but just starting to cramp up. Not surprising, given he's been out for so long. But here come the Chiefs again. Tuima with a huge carry there. Bodies flying over the top. Orson James picks that one out. Well behind the gain line, but Randall sidesteps his way past 2 or 3. Looks to set up ruck ball again. Now James will go wide. It's out to Edbrook. Carries well. Picks it out again from James. Tuima, hands the younger Tuima on the ball now, but the Chiefs are actually losing ground at the moment.
Yeah, they've lost their shape a little bit, haven't they? I think they all want to score, and it's gone forward. Now there's a chance for the Navy to counter attack now.
Kicked out, but Faye Waboso is under this one, and he takes it well, and let's see if he runs this one back with interest. Looks like he's going to. Fantastic. Beats 2, 3. Oh, lovely inside slip pass, and they're not going to stop Orson James there.
Well, that's a wonderful try.
Ali Heifer in front of us, the Exeter Chiefs head coach, saluting that one in particular. He's really pleased with that try.
Well, this lad, Emmanuel Faye Rabosa, my word, he's been a wonderful capture from Wass, and he got that ball in his own half, and I was thinking to myself, the Navy boys might regret kicking it to him, and it looked as though he was shaping to kick. Instead of that, he actually just put the afterburners on and he burnt people off, and then on his shoulder was the other lad that scored a cracking try. So Exeter now are 43 points to 7, but what a wonderful try that was. And you've got to say, Joe Randall, my goodness me, very, very good bit of rugby. Just shows how well these young men are being coached. Unfortunately, the conversion, I think the ball toppled over. He tried to do a drop kick, but he missed as well. But it's not going to matter tonight. 43 points to 7. Now here is a player coming off for Exeter, which is a pity. It looks as though he's struggling a little bit. So we'll just see now. No, he's not going to be able to continue. So it's Exeter's turn to bring on a replacement. Well, before the player can leave the field, the ball has been kicked back to the Navy. Well, that's a powerful run.
Just looking to see who the injured Chiefs man is there at the moment. I think it's Joe Bailey that's trundling off. But, Too Good feeds that one back out, and they go cross field to the Navy. And there's a chase on that far side, but Cordero's across to clear the danger, and left-footed kick downfield. fires it straight into touch. So little mistake there from the Chiefs fullback, and it will gift the Navy a line out just outside the home 22 as Chiefs.
Thomas Bradner, is that, Mark,
Yep.
coming on? Yeah, he's coming on to make up the numbers for the Chiefs. That's a rare mistake by Exeter. They kicked that one directly into touch, so the Navy have got the line out, and they've won it at the tail. It looked as though they'd lost it. And now the Navy find themselves in the Exeter 22. This is a chance for them to perhaps put some points on the board. They drive up the middle. They need to get quick ball here from the ruck. Well, they've slowed it down. Now they've slowed it down a bit.
Well, but even so, they're a good clear out there, and now they're on the front foot again as they go wide, and they look to make inroads into the Chiefs 22 for the first real time in this second half. Referee says that's a penalty for not releasing.
So a bit of good play from the Navy. They're rewarded with that penalty, and I think they're going to go for the kick into the corner. And they find themselves with a chance of a score. They scored early on in the game. Their 7 points came in the first 6 or 7 minutes of the match, and they haven't really looked like scoring a try since. Not because they haven't been passionate and committed, but it's just been very good play from the Exeter Braves. Here comes the line out. First job they've got to do is to get it straight, and they've got to win their throw. They've done that. Well done, the Navy. Now then, can they get a bit of consolation here?
Now they do have the shove on, as you say, John, and they're making their way towards the line. It's going. Referee says that's been hauled down. It's going to be a penalty. He's given a penalty try. That makes it easy for us.
Well, you can't doubt the decision, and there's going to be a yellow card, of course. The Navy won the line out. They started driving Exeter back towards their try line, and they had Exeter back pedalling, and I think that resulted in quite a sensible and correct decision by the referee. And I'm trying to see who's been yellow carded. Is it Tuima? Is it Russ Tuima that's been yellow carded? But the score now, after 21 minutes of the second half, is Exeter Chiefs 43, the Royal Navy 14. So I don't think there's any danger that Exeter aren't going to win the match, but it's good for morale for the Royal Navy team to get a score. And Exeter have made another rare mistake. They've kicked the ball directly into touch from the kick-off. So the Navy can elect to have a scrum on the centre line or have the kick again. And most people obviously decide they'll have the scrummage. And that won't please the Exeter coaches, because you've just conceded a try. The last thing you need to do is to give away a soft bit of possession.
Down there, it looks as though the Chiefs have made a couple of changes there. Corey Teague is coming off, and Frankie Knoll is coming off as well. Oh no, Corey Teague is still waiting. He's still on the pitch there.
So he's staying on now. He's run all the way over to the touchline. He's going to go back now into the pack.
Among those to come on, Lebongo Mazwana, Exeter Uni student.
All right, the referee is getting things sorted out.
They like a blue scrum cap to our team by the looks of it.
Yes, must be a fashion symbol, is it? Are we not sorted out yet? No, they haven't. I think the fourth official and Tony Walker down there sorting out who's staying on and who's coming off.
Barnaby Elderkin is trudging over towards. And
well, the referee's coming over now to talk to him. Yep. Shame this, because Adam Wookie's had a good game, the referee.
I don't think it's his fault. It's more Tony Walker not knowing his maths by the looks of it.
But as the referee, you want obviously to get the game flowing, and we've ended up with a little bit of an impasse. But anyway, everything's fine now. So it's going to be a... Oh, right. So we've now got... Elderkin has gone back on again.
So Elderkin will come back on the open side.
So finally we're going to get the game started. Right, scrum to the Navy on the halfway line. They've won their own scrum and it's a solid scrummage. So they've now got an area where they can do a little bit of attacking on the blind side. A high floated pass which has been intercepted by Exeter, and they're driving it down, but the flag goes up. Sarah Cox on that side of the field. The yellow flag is saying it's a touch, but it's been taken quickly by the Royal Navy, and they've thumped it downfield and it's bobbled up nicely. Exeter running from deep. There, Cordero, he beats a couple of players, sets up another ruck. It's coming out to the blind side. Good passing from the Exeter backs. Wimbush and Faya Wabosa. Oh my word, that's a massive hit there, and goodness me, the Exeter player went into a huge tackle, but there's a great run. This is the lad who nearly came off just now.
Yeah, it's big Corey Teague, and he's sent his teammates racing wide. Good interception there from the Navy.
Goodness me, it's end-to-end stuff. Brilliant rugby, both sides.
You don't normally see second row forwards lumbering like that.
That was a real gallop, wasn't it?
A lumbering giraffe is what Bill McLaren once called
Reminds
Doddy Weir.
Yeah, it reminds us of Will Whitty up at Sale. Here we go. Navy have got the ball. I think they'll be quite happy to clear their lines. And that'll be an Exeter throw into the line out. It's very difficult because obviously so many different players have come and gone during the game. But
another
they're still trying to play.
For the Chiefs as they bring on youngster Ben Cohen. And he's getting a rapturous welcome from his mates in the stands here. He's coming on for Joe Randall in the number 10 shirt.
Yeah, a lot of local support. Really good to see tonight. Very nearly 2,000 people here on a Wednesday night at Sandy Park watching good rugby on a lovely evening. Oh, that wasn't very straight. And I think the referee's got to call that up. That was far too obvious. So we're going to have a scrum now to the Navy. We're halfway through the second half. It's Exeter Chiefs 43, the Royal Navy 14. It's going to be a scrum right on the far side in front of the East Grandstand, almost on the halfway line. So they've got a full open field for the Navy to show us what they can do in the backs. Right, the scrum is set.
In it goes from the Navy, just 5 metres inside their own half. Too Good will fire it out wide, which he does. They've got hands and people everywhere here, and they've worked an overlap. It's fed out to Jerome Rudder. He cuts back inside, but met in the midfield there by Teague, who's been impressive this evening for the home side. Now they go to Y. First involvement there for Cohen, as the Navy start to add some forward thrust. Penalty. Free ball for them here, as Gott releases a teammate just outside of him. Now Too Good again. Rudder.
This is good stuff, isn't it? The Navy, they've gone from one side of the field to the other. They're back over on the east side again, and they're picking and going.
That one's fly hacked through, and the chase is on now. But I think it will go dead in the end. Referee's going to come back for that original penalty. Yeah,
and the crowd appreciated that. The Navy were on the touchline. They obviously had their backs on the open side. They ran the ball right over to the winger. It was good handling, good passing. And then they moved it back on the left-hand side. So they might be down, but they're certainly not out, these Navy boys. And they're trying to show their selectors exactly what they can do. And their backs look as though they just want a bit more ball. But they look confident to run the ball at different places. And now the penalty kick will be kicked towards the 22 to give them a line out. So the Navy are putting up stout resistance.
So Navy ball. just inside the Chiefs 22. They've come back into the game in this last 5 or 6 minutes. They're going with what appears to be a full line out.
Right,
Chiefs,
this is a crucial
very young
line
Chiefs
out.
pack out there, with the exception of Josh Scott, who adds a bit of experience. He's hanging out of this maul for a minute as the drive goes on.
Well, they're taking Exeter on at their own game, and they're pushing Exeter about 3, 4, 5 metres.
Now the ref is telling them to use it.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's allowing them to jump forward again, which they do.
Well, they're keeping moving.
Scott is tailing on the back there, but eventually seems to hold the threat. He's going to be penalised there because he came in from the side for sure. And the ref does indeed have his arm out as the Navy, with free possession, go wide. Now, hands, got men outside them, declines to go, puts his head down and runs straight into 2 Chiefs tacklers. Now they go again, picking and going. Bodies splintering around everywhere at the moment. Ref still has his arm out for a penalty. Might be a new advantage now by the looks of it, as the Navy not afraid to have a go here at the moment.
Well, they're having a new lease of life, Mark, aren't they? Doing really well. Penalty, going to go back to it, but they've played some very good rugby in the last few minutes. And you wouldn't begrudge them if they can put this kick into the corner, having another go at Exeter at the catch and drive, because they pushed the Braves back about 15 metres at the last line out. I think the referee...
just trying to find out who the captain is now.
Right.
Looks as though it's Corey Teague he's going to have a word with. I think it's going to be a warning.
Yeah.
Although there is a gentleman's agreement tonight that yellow cards, you lose your man, but you can bring a different man on.
Oh, so. Right. That's a good idea. Right, the first part of the job's been done by the Navy. They've kicked the ball into the corner. The second part is for the hooker to get the throw straight and to where it should go. And obviously the Navy have got something else up their sleeve. Whether it's just a catch and drive or they're going to move
Front
it.
ball for them, and they win it well. He's not been let down by the looks of it, but now they'll look to shunt again. The old saying, men against boys, it really is at the moment. The servicemen now driving forward, referee is there, and over they go.
Well, that's 2 tries in the last 10 minutes. Very similar. We had the penalty try when they were driving the Exeter forwards over. They've just won the line out and pushed Exeter back again. So the Navy showing that they're fit lads and they obviously still want to play and their attitude is right.
Try there for the hooker, the replacement hooker, Jack Wright. Jack Wright, the scorer, just peeling off the base of that driving maul to go over for the score and reduce the deficit here at Sandy Park with just under 10 minutes to go.
So it's now Exeter Braves 43, the Royal Navy 19, with a conversion to come. And although the changes have been made, Exeter have made a number of changes and the Navy, we're still getting good, fast, open rugby and very good entertainment for a Wednesday night crowd here at Sandy Park, enjoying their evening. Here comes the conversion. Yes, he struck that well. 2 more points. 43-21 now, the Exeter Braves lead by. Well, Russ Tuima comes back. He's at 10 minutes in the bin. So Exeter have been playing with 14 men. Iosif Scott has come off the field. So he's been replaced. This time Exeter get the kick-off right. It's gone about 14 metres, but the Navy have received possession. And no doubt they'll want to try and score another try. We've got 9 minutes left on the clock. 43-21 at the moment, much more respectable than it was at half-time. Exeter mustn't stray offside. That's a huge kick downfield, taken by Cordero for Exeter. His left-footed kick finds one of the Navy players. It's a scrum half again. Oh, too good. This one boots it back downfield again. Well, I think the first mistake from Emmanuel Favour-Bosa. He's knocked it on.
Just under 8 minutes remaining here, and it's been, as John said, a really entertaining game here. Played in the right spirit, but we've seen some wonderful rugby at times this evening. Although that last bit of action there from Manny Fayuwaboso would probably not go in that category, but it all leads to a scrum for the Navy, bang on the Exeter 22.
Again, speaking to people at half-time, everybody said, isn't it wonderful to see midweek rugby at Sandy Park? We haven't seen very much of it since COVID, unfortunately, but these midweek games really gives the whole area a lift.
And here go the Navy now. Gott tries to take the ball up. Now they Too Good feeds that one out, and he's smoked in the midfield there by the University back rower, Lebongo Maswani.
Here's another penalty. The referee's arm is out for a penalty for the Navy. So whatever happens here, they're going to get a chance to score another try. But there's a second penalty as well. They're still going forward. They're inside the Exeter 22.
Definitely brought a lot more physicality in this second half, John.
Yeah, much more. Got to grips with the game.
Now they go wide again, and Jacob Morris does well to hold him up in that midfield area. And he'll come back for that penalty, which you'd imagine they'll probably kick to the corner again.
Yeah, and that's over on the east grandstand corner, the area where Ollie Woodburn thought he'd scored a try Saturday. It was a wonderful bit of rugby from Exeter when Woodburn ended up in that left-hand corner, but he did put a foot into touch, but tremendous finish it was. And there's the kick into the corner, 5 yards from the try line. Can the Navy score another try? We're waiting for this line out now. We're into the last 6 minutes of the match.
Ball in hand of the Navy hooker on that far side. Shorten line out, and they go to the front this time, and they assemble themselves well, and they're quickly into that driving maul, and that's well constructed, and it looks like they're going over again.
That's a great try. Whoa. The Navy have scored 3 tries to Exeter's none in the last few minutes of the game, and I know Exeter have made lots of changes, but it's now the Navy 26, Exeter 43. We've still got 5 minutes left on the clock. I don't think there's going to be a sensational victory, but the Chiefs are being put under enormous pressure up front, particularly from the catch and drive lineouts.
Second try of the night there for Jack Wright, and they've done very well, as John said, in this last 10-15 minutes, but the physicality they've brought against what has turned out to be a very young Chiefs pack here now in this final quarter, coming to fruit there.
And obviously the old psychology comes in. When you're 40 odd points up, 43-7 up, you tend to, your mind tends to switch off a little bit. Psychology, it's got to happen, but all credit to the Navy. They've come back very strongly, and they've made a real game of this second half, and that's a wonderful conversion. So it's now 43-28 with 5 minutes left on the clock. Just 15 points between the two teams. So here comes the kickoff. Well, the Navy's hand knocked that forward, and I think it's been picked up by one of the Exeter forwards. And here they come again, the Chiefs, up into the 22. Are they going to have the last say in the game? If it goes wide, they got an overlap. Well, they've sold the dummy and gone through the middle, but it comes back on the Exeter side again. And again, one of the Exeter players strides up the base. Oh, he's gone off his feet. Penalty to the Navy.
Yeah, that was the first time they've been in that attacking position for a while, and they concede a soft penalty there on that occasion. Exeter 43, the Royal Navy 28. Good work out for both sides tonight, and a lot of positives I'm sure the Chiefs will take from it, most notably the returns of Ollie Devoto, Justin Harris, and of course Marcus Street. Very
much so, Mark. That's a huge plus for the club, and the crowd here tonight have seen 70 odd points scored. So everybody's going to go away from tonight feeling good.
Barnaby Elderkin's going to return to the fray here as Corey Teague makes his way to the sidelines. He's cramped up in the last minute or so, but he's put in a good shift tonight.
Yes, he has. And he's been playing well in the leagues around, hasn't he? See his name mentioned very often, which is good to see. Right, here comes the line-out. The Navy have won it. They're all looking to attack Exeter. They're over the halfway line. Again, they're putting a lot of effort into this, the Navy boys. They're keen to show their selectors what they can do.
Too good with ball in hand, feeds it out now. And it's charged down there by Cohen. And it releases Lebongo Mazwana. He makes decent yardage. And then it spills out the side. It's turnover ball. Ref says play on. Comedy of errors in the end. But it'll be Bobby Wigginton on that far side who regathers for the Chiefs. And will look to run it back. Side steps inside one. Slaloms two. And eventually goes to ground. In goes the Chiefs teammates, and it's whipped out hands there, and it releases Rus Tuima through the middle. Tuima, ball in hand, brought to the ground, but finds his younger brother Jeremy Tuima.
He will run with the ball in one hand.
Now they go again. Mazwana turned over as they knock on at that ruck.
Well, it was a wonderful passage of play because Exeter got the ball and very, very close to scoring under the post. The ball came back on the Navy side. They booted it clear. Cordero started the move again, and it came right over to the left-hand side. And we all thought he was going to move the ball, which I think he should have with an overlap. Tuima then was tackled. He rolled. It's gone forward. The referee has quite rightly awarded a scrum to the Navy as we get towards the last minute of the match. Exeter Chiefs 43, the Navy 28. And the
Not
scrum will take place almost in front of us, in front of the West Grandstand.
Crowd of 1,901 in attendance here tonight. Great crowd for this friendly. It's now become an annual fixture. We play the Navy seniors and also the Navy 23s. So a good tie up there. As that kick goes downfield, Faye Waboso is back to gather it, and we'll see if he will look to run it again, and he does. And looks to offload, but that's appeared to be knocked on in the tackle. But the
yes, it was. Yeah, it was a knock on there, but
too good with a kick in behind, and that's sparking a race. I think Faye Waboso will win it. If it goes dead, it's coming back for a scrum, which it does. So.
It was good choice, so wasn't it? That was the kick ahead. It was just a shame that the ball bounced end over end and in the dead ball area, but it was a good decision. So the referee now, I think, is going back to a first offence, which will that be a penalty to the Navy?
So as
it's a scrum.
Clock is up here in the stadium now, and the referee has a scrum for the Chiefs. But final reflections, John, on what's been a great night of rugby. What are you making of it all?
Well, I think it's been, first of all, wonderful entertainment. It's been good rugby, and particularly the first half when Exeter had obviously their strongest lineup that they could get with the Braves. People like Devoto and Street did really well, and the halfbacks have been excellent. But you've got to say the Navy boys have really committed themselves, particularly in the second half. They certainly haven't given up. They've scored 4 or 5 very good tries. We've all had a good evening here tonight, and without a doubt the future is very bright for these young men with the white shirts tonight for Exeter.
Jeremy Tuima with ball in hand. Now they look to go wide, and it's come off the foot of Faye Waboso. I think the ref will come back for that initial one. And he says penalty.
Well, I suppose it came off a foot, didn't it? And a player was in front that touched the ball, and technically he's spot on. If you're in front of the ball in rugby, you're in an offside position. And now the Navy will kick once more to the corner. They fancy their chances for another score. No, we've had a great night's rugby. Very enjoyable, good weather, good rugby as well, enterprising stuff, and also got to say again, after Luke Pearce's performance here at the weekend, which was excellent, the referee tonight has done really well, kept the game going. Adam Wookie, he's a name for the future.
This final bit of action in the hands of Jack Wright, who's already scored 2 tries tonight. Hits that one at the tail. Now at too good. Fires straight into the midfield. That's a strong carry through the heart of the Chiefs midfield there. Now they switch back. Lovely. and it's Rudder who will look to go down that right flank. Comes back inside through Too Good. Big hits going in there from the Chiefs. Great shot from one of the youngsters there. Tuima wrapping up in midfield. Too Good barking orders at his teammates as the Navy look to slalom their way through a couple of Exeter Chiefs bodies. Are right under the shadow of the home posts. That's not the best pass. It's
I think he's knocked it on.
And I think, looking at the referee, that's going to be it. And that is indeed the final whistle. So a good night's work for the young Exeter Chiefs side. As we said, they eventually win this game 43 points to 28. A lot of positives, John, and lots to look forward to in the future by the looks of it.
Yeah, and both sides will take a lot of credit. First of all, Exeter will be delighted with the victory and the players that came out tonight and the way they performed. And I think for the future of the tournament, the Navy will be pleased with their comeback in the second half. And a great game of rugby, well refereed, excellent crowd, and final score, Exeter Braves 43, the Royal Navy 28.
Thanks very much for your company tonight, John.
Thank you, Mark.
It's been great to have you commentating alongside me. And thank you to everyone that's been watching the live stream via our YouTube channel. Remember, that's the only place you can see all our up-to-date videos from the club here. And a huge thank you to the Royal Navy. We wish them well in the upcoming inter-services. Based on that performance, I think they'll... But thank you for your attendance and enjoy your evening. Thank you.